back to the grind.
Yeah.
Okay, this is where I'm going to try and save you money. This is our forced air heating and cooling furnace for our mobile home. It's just like most of them that are in mobile homes. I've got filters on order because the last filter I had put in let a lot of air get by it. I know that our squirrel cage and our A coils are dusted over. When calling the heating and cooling specialists, they quoted between $500 and $1,000 just to clean that before we get the new filters put in, so that we know we get good airflow through all of our vents. I'm going to do it myself and show you guys the basics on how to do it, potentially saving you between $500 and $1,000 for some fairly simple tasks. So as you can tell, dust got past the filter all over the place, and that squirrel cage is coated. It looks like it's at least an 1/8 inch thick. So one of the first things we're going to do, obviously, is turn the power off. Then we're going to remove the motor and the squirrel cage all at the same time. Get that out. We're going to clean all that up, as well as start vacuuming all of this and cleaning it up. So first things first, if you're doing this job yourself to save money, make sure your power's off. Probably the most important part of this whole thing is to make sure your power's off. Getting these squirrel cages out isn't that difficult of a task, actually. Some of them have simple plugs like this to power the motor. In a case like this one, looks like we just need to pop that little tab open. And there, power is disconnected from the motor. Most of these are going to use some pretty basic screws, nuts, or bolts to hold this portion of the cage and motor in. So we've already got our power disconnected. We have a ground right here, hidden under all the dust, and it looks like 5/16 heads. I'm just going to use a nut driver.
So I got loose them, I'm gonna put them right here.
One thing you might want to do so that you know your cage goes back in exactly the way it came out, give yourself a mark at 12 o'clock and match that one up. So now I know when I put this back, this line needs to match that line. All of them are removed. Out it comes, all as one piece. Next we'll take it outside and get this cage off and get it cleaned up. Now that we're outside, we can begin cleaning. Look at this thing. Next we got to get this cage off. A little square nut in here. We'll loosen it. And off it comes. Now we can use a brush and a vacuum, clean all this off the best we can. cleaning the squirrel cage, a lot of times you can use an old used paintbrush, especially if it hasn't been oiled up, and just start running it through. Just look at this pile. This was all over those fins. I'm sure this thing was not running at peak efficiency. Now, cleaning the squirrel cage that way with water, pressure washer, is okay. You just have to remember to come back and dry it as quickly as possible because you don't want it to rust, of course. Do not get the motor wet. So I'm using foaming evaporative and condenser coil cleaner on this because I already know that it's safe for the furnaces and the coils. It's just helping me loosen up all the hardened dirt and dust. So now we're at the second part of what we need to worry about. This is our evaporator coil. A lot of them in these forced air units are A-shaped like this. And as you can tell, this one is extremely dirty. So what we're going to do is use a very soft bristled brush, kind of like the ones you get on vacuums. We're going to gently brush this stuff down to the bottom where we will vacuum it out, and then we're going to follow up with spraying the A coil with foam. So one thing while I'm doing this, I'm being sure to comb with the fins in that direction and being very gentle because these can fold over pretty easily. We don't want either one of those because a fold over is going to block airflow, and you go with it so that you do not fold any of those fins over. After you've worked super hard at getting this thing clean, the next thing you want to do is use a dedicated foaming coil cleaner for this. You should have a pan at the bottom of this, and everything, I'm going to spray this, and this is a non-harsh fumed product that foams all the dirt out, and then at that point it'll just drain down slowly into the evaporator pan and drip out the drip line. Now, did the foaming cleaner work? Yes, absolutely. But I think I want to do a second can just because of how dirty these were. And keeping in mind the age of my unit, this is a 50-year-old unit, I really do need brand new A coils down below. But we're trying to get the best we can out of it. Now, of course, installation is going to be the reverse of removal. Remember, we put a line on first, so we knew which end was up again, to put it back exactly like it was. So is this perfect? No. Is it better? 100% better than what it was before. It's not new. This is a 50-year-old unit. But by doing all this, a professional HVAC company would charge you anywhere between $500 and $1,000, and I have even been quoted up to $1,500 having this done at places before. Would you pay yourself $1,000 to do this? Not only is this going to make your system more efficient, it's going to cool your house better. You're not going to have all the dust and debris being blown through your vents. It's going to help prevent fire hazards that could occur here in the elements during the winter time. And just overall, it's going to be nicer. If there's any lesson here to be learned, it's use the right size filters, and obviously take a second and go check your filter right now. Make sure it doesn't need changed. On to the next thing. So one of the many things we want to work on, our home happens to face east to west, and this window lets in a ton of sunlight and happens to keep Stephanie awake when she's sleeping during the day because she works graveyard. So we're going to build a shade screen for this window. So building window screens for your home isn't too bad. You need some really basic tools. Tape measure, something to mark with. Some saw that will cut metal. These are usually made of aluminum, so they cut really easy. And then you're going to need what they call a roller, although there is ways to do it without a roller. What you need to know is your window frame size that you need to fit these into. You just measure inside of it pretty simply. And then when you measure these out, you just measure and you subtract 3/4 of an inch twice for each of these corners that they come with in these kits, and you can build the window. You can build the window screen. So the sides, since we know we need to figure out how, I'll couple it out. 38. That's all there is to that part. Next, I'll see you inside and we'll assemble this and put the screen in. Now, it's not that we don't enjoy all the extra light, but that sunlight actually lets a lot of warmth and heat in. And that's why we're making this screen removable, so we can take it off during certain times of the year. We can remove it during the winter and let some more light in and the UV rays to help warm the house. During the summertime, like I said, with our home facing east to west, sunlight just blares in that 4 foot by 5 foot window, and Stephanie has a hard time sleeping because there's so much light. We usually have to keep her bedroom door open to let the extra cool air we get in there from these air conditioners so she can sleep during the day. And then the screen that I'm using is also a UV protectant too. So it'll protect the UV rays from that. It'll protect the UV rays from that blind that's up there. And just all in all, this will help us shade that a little bit, kind of like having a awning or something. At a much cheaper price for the time being because money's tight. So this sun guard, you can see, it's definitely like a shaded thing, but you can't actually see through it. So we're going to be able to see through it. We're going to get light coming through it, just not as much light, as well as, like I said before, the UV ray protection. Of course, most of these tools, most people will have. The only specialty tool you're really going to need is what they call a screen roller. And this is a nicer one. You can pick these up for around between $5 to $10 at most hardware stores. The plastic ones, they work if you're just going to do 6 or 7 windows. I happen to do a lot of windows, so I have one that's a little bit stronger. Put the gimp in the hole. Use your roller. Roll it in.
Does it have to be super tight?
No. Does not have to be super tight. It's just got to be kind of tight. That's okay. Huge, enormous.
So we got the blinds open. Let's see how this goes. Oh yeah, way better.
How's that?
That's good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
What a difference.
I know.
Huge difference. And as you guys can see, we can still see outside. It really did cut the light a lot though, so we're not so blinded. We can take it up and put it down as we need. Still get a lot of light from the other windows.
Oh, even this one.
And then of course we still have that one over here that we can open and close. What's it look like with the blind closed?
This one?
Yeah, what's it look like with the blind closed? Other way. There you go.
This one?
No, you were fine. Oh yeah, if we needed it to be darkened up for any reason,
Yeah.
absolutely.
East.
Movie time, so we're not getting blinded. Cool.
Good job, babe.
And now we can open it up and look outside too.
Yeah.
So from the outside, these also block the view of people looking in on us. So it's kind of like a privacy thing too. On to the next task. So we've painted the wall. I've showed you a little secret on how to clean the furnace on your own and save yourself $500 to $1,000. Got some screen work done. It's now time to take care of this wonderful new flooring plan rearrangement here. Just kidding. We're going to tear up our old LVP flooring to prepare the floor to put down new OSB next week so that we can put our new flooring in right after that. While I'm working on that, Stephanie's going to go ahead and get her door painted the way she's finally wanted. She's super excited to share that with all of you. So we're going to start by getting a little section here right in front of the door out of the way, and then she's going to go ahead and slap on some paint, huh?
You're gonna love it.
Okay, so if you were going to put LVP or vinyl or anything in brand new, you could just overlay your subfloor on top of this. It's not going to hurt anything to do that. The only reason we're having to tear it up is because we want them all to be the exact same level running through. So we have to make sure our OSB is at the same level as the other. And this stuff's like 6 millimeters thick or something like that. So it would push it up a small chunk, and therefore from the kitchen to living room wouldn't be the same level. So we have to tear this out in order to put our OSB down. Otherwise, normally you could just overlay this as long as you figured out where your floor joists are. And the big indicator to where those floor joists are is look up at where these lines are in your ceiling, because they're going to run your roof rafters into the wall studs, into the floor joists. When they built these mobile homes, that's how they did it. So it's all sitting on top of each other for support. So it would be easy to locate those if you were just attach OSB over top of this and lay yourself a brand new floor. Attach particle board, plywood, whatever your choice is. So I'm going to get this section ripped out here so she can get started painting, and we'll just start working along. Well, there it is. Her super contrasting door. What do you think of it, babe?
I like it.
The color you said, though, wasn't quite what you thought it would be.
No, but it still works.
It does.
It works.
The color's called
Charcoal blue.
charcoal blue. So that's a charcoal blue color. It kind of has a grayish tone to it.
I think it's going to work well when we put those up.
Yeah, it's going to work really well when we put the accent wall up here with the blue stained pine going from the floor to the ceiling. When I ripped all this up, I decided to use the rest of the pink Pepto-Bismol paint just so that we can get rid of it. We didn't have to seal the floor, but if you needed to seal a floor because of something like pet stains or just any kind of stains, that's the basics to it. Just go buy yourself some super cheap paint. So I think the colors blend well together. You guys are practically at the edge of the hallway right now, and we're way over here in the living room. So we put in a lot of work this week and a lot of little things done, kind of moving around the paint, the other paint, getting the floor prepared, showing you guys one of the easiest ways to save yourself $500 to $1,000. And I have heard quotes all the way up to $1,500 for people cleaning up HVACs like that. It's really not that hard. I think you guys could totally do that. Go check out your heating system right now, not just for mobile homes, just in your home. Make sure your filter's good. Make sure you put the right size filter in. Don't be like us and get the wrong size filter just because we have a really weird size for ours. But cleaning that up, it's going to run more efficiently. It's going to feel better. Showing you guys how to build a screen, super simple. You can pick up all that kind of stuff at your hardware stores. You can order them online. And then I highly recommend shade screen on the south side of your home. I mean,
It took you, what, 10 minutes?
it took me 10 minutes, but it literally, we felt that it was cooler in here today. The sun rays weren't beating in. And it's really cool. When you step outside and you're coming in during the daytime, we got the blinds open, but people can't see us.
Yeah.
Like, you can't see in the house. So it's kind of like a privacy thing, too. I really like it.
I do too.
So our next plan, we got to get OSB subflooring. We're going to put it down, and then we're either going to do the wall or the floor next. Not 100% sure. We might do the floor, then the wall. Stephanie has to paint the frame and the outside of the door during a cooler part of the day or late evening. And we're just about ready to get our new screen door and get rid of that yucky old one. And then, man, we just got a lot to do. So many things still.
We still have to do behind the fireplace.
We still have to do the tile behind the fireplace, but now that we're painted in here, that could be the next project. I could just randomly choose. So it's just any direction right now. Some of it's going to depend on our budget because we are still doing this all out of our own pocket, paycheck to paycheck. We've made a total of like $400 on YouTube. It's paid for some of the stuff and we're very grateful, but we're still doing this all on our own. The grand total we are in this now with everything we have bought is like $3,700. Not too bad. The paint, we did splurge and go with the most expensive, best paint for the main walls. Super washable, super easy to clean. What's so funny, my love?
Good thing it's washable because you had that big smear.
Yes, we had a big paint smear. Maybe you saw it, maybe you didn't. But what do you think so far, babe?
I'm happy with it.
What do you guys think of our house? Would you pay yourself $1,000 to do what I just showed you to do? I'd take $250 to do that for you.
Well, spell.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
I'd take $250 to do that. Like, totally. All you got to do is remember, a lot of this stuff you can look up and do it on your own.
Are you happy with your home?
Yes, I'm very happy. It's getting closer and closer to where it's us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited to do this soon. I think it won't go as quick as the hallway did. It'll be a quicker project to do.
That, and then you have to cut and cut.
But then it's really going to pop. It's really going to make something special. And now that we got these main walls, she can get some new picture frames to start cleaning some stuff up and pick the photos we prefer out here the most. A lot of you have reached out via email. That's great. If you're stuck and you need some guidance, a couple of you have put things in comments too and needed some guidance. Feel free to email us. I've walked a couple of you through some things. Our next video, we will be installing a subfloor, and I know one of you are waiting to kind of get the idea on how to do that. So I'll go into a little bit of detail on that for you. It's super simple, super fast.
And I know how to use a screw gun now.
Yeah, she likes to do that part. Are you happy?
I'm happy.
Me too.
All right. High five us.
What do you need to tell them?
You do it.
Remember to tell yourself, I can fix that.
Take shoes off.
Yes, ma'am.
Now has to make us supper.
And I have to edit it.